a little short disclaimer that is I haven't been speaking English for like 3 or 4 months consecutively, so it might be a little bit. I might grow a little bit rusty. So forgive me if I get like stuck or something. All right. So so the very specific event I want to focus on in this presentation that is called James Watt Night. This is a event that I have been part of in like in back to like more than 2 years ago in late 2019. I remember that on a night at late November, like one of the last 2 or 3 days, and we actually held this event to honor the great figure like in engineering history, like James Watt, on his 200th anniversary of death. So to celebrate, not to celebrate, it's just to honor James Watt, we have held a series of events, including an exhibition of students' work related to James Watt, and another main event procedure, which I mentioned, was held on night in late November 2019. So actually, I brought some photos here. Just give me a second. I will just show you guys the photos. So what is James Watt's night? I've talked about that. Yeah. So here is one photo at that night. So here's the gallery where some of the students' works and photos are presented to the guests. I think someone in this meeting room actually had been there at that night. So you guys may remember that the gallery is there, and the lighting is very like has a well, how to describe it? It's just sound. It really has a vibe of like a night event, very warm, which presents James Watt's like in knowledge about James Watt by students. And another thing is we actually, besides the gallery, we have also borrowed more classrooms for the interactive exhibition. Because we have all the students who have made the posters and videos on site to interact with the guests. They talked, they communicated, and they shared their feelings about their own works and about the great figure of James Watt. This is exactly what we have. This is exactly the purpose of this event. And so to make this event more enjoyable, we actually published some physical materials, such as the here, as you guys may see, we got a little magazine called What About Watt. So this one is actually a collection of students' works, like photos and their articles, and some of their posters printed in one magazine. You can call it magazine. And we also got another like souvenirs, like the James Watt Night flyer, and something like a postcard, and also a newspaper like material. So this is all we got. We actually have got a bunch of physical materials for this event. So this is that was very enjoyable. That was unforgettable to me, because I was part of this editing team. So here comes, you may ask, so what did I do in this event, or what was my role? So here it is. Firstly, I was the one member of the event planning team, and yeah, I was there all the time when we are planning, whether we're deciding our talk, discussing whether we want to add a procedure or whether we want to add a sub activity to the main procedure. So I was there like throughout the decision making process and throughout the prep stage. So yeah, this is my core work. I was one of the planners, and most interestingly, this is what I want to talk about in detail. I was one last minute replaced compare at the site. So what do I mean? What do I mean by mentioning a last minute replacement? It's just like let me share with you the story. So I remember that afternoon, the afternoon before the event gets started, I received a message about I received a message about the another one of the two compares that he was hospitalized suddenly, and he was not able to host the event. So we're looking for replacements. And after 5 or 10 minutes, we cannot find someone who's really ready for this. So you know, the eyes turned on me, and I thought about it in 1 second. That is, yeah, I was there when we are writing the script or the lines for the host. I was there when we are deciding what we are going to present in the main procedure. So yeah, I'm gonna be one of these. I am gonna be one of the compares. So I said to the guys, and they said, "Cool, we believe in you," because at that time I was more fluent in spoken English than now. So so I immediately come up to the stage and got the script, and then go through the procedure, introducing everybody to the events that are going to join in, and presenting the awards to those people who have presented excellent works in James Walt's night. And yeah, that's everything. That's everything I did. This is quite a. This was quite. This was now, even now, the biggest surprise that I have came to me in my entire life. It's just like I was never told of that. Just like 1 or 2 hours prior to the event, I got a message that the male compere was sick and could not come. So I was there. This was still one of the this is still one of my biggest surprises. Yeah, this is very unique. This experience is so unique to me. And you might ask, besides the element of surprise, do you have anything else that could be unique about this experience? Well, I think there is simply too much to talk about. Let me share with you 1 or 2 points if I have time. So yeah, so the first thing is, believe it or not, this is my first time as a compere in such an event or in any event in both Chinese and English. I've been several times to Chinese and Chinese compares in the following 2 years, but this is my first ever time experience as a compare in any event. So this is really this is quite surprising and unforgettable to me. And another thing is, as I told Susan later, most of what I said at the event was actually improvised. So I was quite relaxed. So because actually it's me who write the script and the main procedure for the James Walt night. So I feel I'm in control of everything. So I know exactly what's going to happen after event A and after event B. So I just took it very take it really relaxed. It doesn't mean I don't take it seriously. It just feel like I had control of everything. So I just can speak and do whatever I like in the way whatever I like. So I want to make it like a normal talk, a communication between audience and the host, so they actually can feel like I'm part of this event. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm the guest anymore. I feel like we are a whole entity in this event. So kind of feel like we're merged together. So this feeling is so unique, and I think I somewhat did that. I somehow managed to do that, create such an atmosphere where everybody is merged together. And another thing is, I met with many other excellent students from my college who are, I think, more than competent than bringing out such an excellent or a very good event, James Walt Night. And actually, I kept in touch with many of them throughout the next 2 years to host and collaborate in the future events regarding transnational communication and other events like knowledge sharing events, seminars. And I want to give an example. And this example is exactly inside this meeting room. And yes, I want to mention Ella. Ella was one of my closest collaborators throughout the next following 2 years, and we have done like dozens of seminars and English speaking events, including the one Ella want to share with you guys about in the next stage, the English Corner. Yeah, we've done so much throughout the days. It's just throughout the past like 2 years. It's just like our collaboration really gets started since the James Wolfe night, where we collaborated and as the event planners. So this is something that is really unique about this experience for me. Yeah, I think this is the points I want to talk about. And since I see, I think my time is already up.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'm open the floor. So if there's any questions, please feel free to like ask.
Okay, so today I want to share with you the weekly English Corner activity held in the Glasgow College UESTC. Well, I came up with this idea like 2 years ago, and I went to the Sichuan University, another university in Chengdu, and I joined it, and I've met so many students there. It's like there are graduate students and undergraduate students like me, and also even some pupils and some retired staff. And it was like their English might not be that good, but they just go to that place and practice English. So that experience remind me of something like I want to have a similar activity. I want to hold a similar activity in my university. And I also received some messages from my junior students telling me that they have a strong desire to practice and improve their oral English. So I had a trial in the academic year 2019 to the 2020. And I guess Jennifer could still remember I sent her a lot of emails talking about the progress about our English Corner activity. But due to the pandemic, that activity was closed, and it was like for 1.5 years, we could not hold that English Corner. And now when I went to grade 4, I became a senior student, and I decided to restart this English Corner activity. And so today, what I want to tell you is how it is held and what is our progress. So the English Corner activity is divided into 2 parts. Every week we have regular activity, and once a month we have a speech convention. Let me first introduce the regular activity. We'll begin with a warm-up game, and then the students will divide it into groups of 4 or 5 and have a free chat session for 2 hours. You know, for some students, it is really difficult for them to talk in English, especially in English, without stop. So I'll ask them to regroup every 20 minutes and to meet some new friends. And you know, when you are grouped with some students that you're not familiar with, it is difficult to start talking. So I'll also give them an icebreaking topic after regrouping. And now I'll talk about the speech convention. That is, I make it in the form of the Toastmaster Club weekly meet. I'm not sure whether you have heard of it, but it's an international speech club to practice public speaking skills. And I divide this.
Ella, we're losing you a bit.
Oh.
Okay, you're back.
Ah, okay, I'm back.
Yes.
I'm back. I'm not sure when I do not.
Toastmaster Club. You just told us about the Toastmaster Club.
Oh,
So
okay.
What happened in that? Yes.
Okay, I'll continue. I'm not sure whether you heard about it, but it's an international club to practice public speaking skills, and so I joined it for 1 semester and I learned a lot there. So I try to bring it back to my university, and I divide the speech convention into 3 parts. That is prepared speech, impromptu speech, and free chat session. I held the speech convention once a month so that students could have enough time to prepare what to share on the prepared speech session. Okay, and so here are some of the activity photos. You can see that students are having a heated discussion, and also this is something about the prepared speech part and the Q&A session. I can still remember this guy, the student in the last photo. He's a grade 1 student, and he shared with us his way about music. That is, he grouped some students to form a band and play the rock and roll. It was so nice that so many students found similar interests with him, and they talked a lot about music. Yeah, so now I want to share with you some of the progress. The first is we created a WeChat official account, posting the event previews and reviews. For 1 semester, we have over 1,900 followers, and so here below are some of the links. But they are all in Chinese, so I will not click it. And now in the activity notifying group, we have over 500 students, and each time we have over 30 students to participate. You know, in my university, there are the students have a lot of study burden, so it's nice to have 30 students to participate. And maybe at the beginning of this semester, we have around 40 participants, but during the end of this semester, we could only have around 20 students. And it's so nice to receive thank you messages every week. There are always students telling me that they learned a lot and they met a lot of new friends in this activity. And so here's the group photo after each activity. I only posted the photos taken on the September. That is, you see every week. So we have 9 activities in September, 4 activities in September. Okay, so here's some reflection from this activity. You can see that this is the PowerPoint for the impromptu speech part. We have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 9 topics, and each animal here corresponds to a question. Students will come and choose one animal, and then after he or she comes to the stage, and then they will find what the question is, and then they will have 30 seconds to prepare for it, and then 2 minutes to talk about it. So you don't know what you are going to talk about before you come to the stage, and that is the point I think a lot about. That is, it is really difficult to be the first volunteer. You see, when come to the impromptu speech part, students have to need to raise their hands and to be the volunteer, to be the speaker. And sometimes the audience will always be in awkward silence, and they will never raise their hands unless I point someone and say, just come. And so that is when I think it is really difficult to be the first one to put up his or her hands. But as long as you try it, I mean, I'm not sure how to explain my feelings. I just feel that some students will be afraid and worry about if they come to the stage and the audience might laugh at their horrible oral English. But you know, our audience, the audience in the English corner, are always warm-hearted and nice. So they will always return to they will always applaud and smile instead of laughing at the speaker. So that is the thing that I really want to share with you. So I guess that's all about the reflection. And now this is some acknowledgement. I really want to thank some of the UESTC faculties and also my English teacher, like Ivana and Lena. They've sent a lot of advertisements about the English corner to their classes. And also I want to thank my friends like Steve, because he's the one that always join my activities and be the speaker and to share his feelings. And also I want to thank the U of G faculties, including Jennifer and Susan. It was like last year, I was not sure whether I need to continue hold this activity because I have a lot of other things to do. And Jennifer told me to just keep on trying, and she's really interested in this activity and continue encourage me. So I really want to thank her. And I guess that's all about my sharing.
Hello, I'm Bo Chengjie from Southwest Jiao Tong Lee's Joint School, and I'm in my third year of computer science, and you can call me Mike. So first of all, I'd like to talk a bit about my current study on the epidemic. So due to the global epidemic, so we are studying partly remotely. So for most of the lectures we are delivered online, or we simply watch videos from this site. So I will say that it is not that efficient or that convenient to communicate with the lecturers and to get to learn knowledge from them. But we are supported here by Southwest Jiao Tong staff here, so yeah, it's a good thing. Although, so I will talk more about the reps. So I am one of the school rep for this year, and I was also one of the school rep last year. So rep is for representative, and here we have two types of reps. We have course reps and school reps. So for course rep, we have at least one course rep for each course. So he or she will stand for the whole course, and for the school rep, we simply stand for the joint school. Well, so what we do is to collect feedback from students and pass the feedback from students to the joint school. So we act as a bridge of communication between the student and staff. So to be more specific, we are always collecting feedback and trying to solve problems by either talking with the joint school or sending emails to the program directors or module leaders. So we also have student staff partnership forum, which we call SSPF, twice a semester, where the joint school, where the people who are in charge of the joint school and the reps will come we will try to solve problems that we haven't solved them like earlier by sending emails or something or similar ways. And we also have faculty taught education committee, that is FTSEC and education assembly. That is from the University of Leeds. So basically, this system is from the so this system is from the LUU, which is from the University of Leeds, but and we are part of it. I think by doing this, we can solve some practical problems that we encounter when studying here. So here are some typical feedback we encounter. So first of all, it's like time arrangements. So we have different. So when students meet problems with time arrangements with their lectures, or with their assignments, or even with their coursework, we will try to solve the problem directly. And we will try to improve student experience in the joint school, and we will solve any issue that influence a lot of problems, a lot of students. Well, finally, I'd like to talk about why did I choose to volunteer to be one of the school rep. So this year is the second time. So first of all, I think it is because of sense of belonging. And personally speaking, I think I hold the sense of belonging to the joint school, and I would say that my study experience in the joint school is good, but it's not that perfect. So I will try. So what we do here is to try to solve problems that we encounter with the joint school together, and try to make the joint school better. So it's like so after that, our study experience in the joint school will be improved, and so it's like a positive feedback. And another point is a chance to help others. Being a rep means that we have to stand for a lot of students, and being a school rep means we have to stand for the whole joint school students. So it's like a huge responsibility for me and for us. But I think being a representative means that we can we have the stronger voice, and we have the stronger power to stand for the students, and to argue with some problems, argue with the joint school about some problems that we encounter. So I think it is a chance to help the fellow students. Also, it is a chance to practice my English. Actually, apart from year one, we seldom have chances to practice English, because most of the time, for most of the time, our work, our coursework, or is only written. So what we only practice is written English, but we seldom practice our spoken English. And I think it is a good chance to practice my English, and we have to use English to communicate with the module leaders, with deans, with the also the program directors, the lecturers, students, staff, all that, all the people from the joint school. And for most of the time, we simply use English. So I think it is a chance to practice my English. Finally, it is a chance to improve myself. And as I mentioned earlier, so I have to communicate with a lot of people, and doing the rep stuff helped me to improve my ability to communicate with with these people, and it really takes some technique to communicate with people, even especially when they are unsatisfied with their stuff, or sometimes unsatisfied with their study experience here. So they will be angry, and so we have to select what they really want, and we have to communicate with the joint school in a peaceful way. So it's like a difficult thing, and sometimes the lecturers and the joint school, the people from joint school will be unhappy too. So we have to take care of their emotions. So I think it's like a bit tricky, and it's a good way to improve those techniques. Yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Yiwei from Year 2 Computer Science in SWJTU Lee's Joint School, and also the school rep of the joint school. Today, I'd like to share my experience in the joint school, especially my experience as school rep. In today's presentation, I'd like to answer these three of the questions. Why did I choose to be student rep? What have I done as student rep? What have I gained as student rep? Actually, I was the student rep last year, actually in my year 1, and the chair course rep of year 1 students, and are also responsible for the whole feedback of the year 1. First of all, the reasons, as I mentioned in all of my material and CV, I want to act as a bridge between students and teachers, as well as my school. And for myself, firstly, I want a voluntary working experience, especially for my school. I think it's quite great. And also, I want a chance to practice my English, not only orally, but also in some writing skills, communication skills. I think it's quite important for myself. Okay, now for my working content and my daily routine. As Mike mentioned before, we reps in our daily, we connect feedback from students and reflect this feedback to our school, to our SSO or TSO or ASO, some departments in our school. And also we assist SSO teacher to prepare for our SSPF as Mike mentioned before, student staff partnership for meeting, which is held twice a semester. Which is quite important because all of our feedbacks, almost all of our important feedbacks will be mentioned in that meeting, and it will be solved very quickly. And also we participate in some meetings in Leeds, like our FTSEC meetings. And also, which is quite important, is we assist the recruitment and the training of some new reps from this side at the beginning of the semester. For my gain, I think firstly, I have stronger English competence than before, because I have been the role since my year 1, and in this process, I have to communicate with others all in English. I have to host my meetings all in English. I have to write my materials like our agenda and minutes on meeting all in English. So my English was actually used quite frequently. So my English competence is stronger than before. And also I have better integrating and communication capacity, because in my job, I have to integrate all of the feedbacks with our teachers and Mike together. And we have to communicate with both students and teachers from Lee side and SWJTU side. And actually, I have better time management and problem solving ability, because in my daily life, I have to manage both my job and my study at the same time. And it's in my working experience, there are many problems come, as Mike mentioned before, and we have to solve them. And so my ability was increased quickly. And what's the most important is, in this process, I have high sense of self-identity and belonging. I think it's quite important because as I done this job before, I'm a people who is lack of confidence. I don't dare to speak English in front of people, but after doing that, I have a self-identity because I actually see my work done and see some of my achievements. And actually, because I have been the rep in my first year, and I actually feel I participate in the development of my school, and I truly have the sense of belonging. So in conclusion, though this experience is challenging in process, but it's still a precious and rewarding experience. I cherish it very much, and I love my school and my university very much. Thank you for your listening.